Well, it's March 11th, 2015. It's the end of a long day. It's also my mother's birthday. If she were alive, she would turn 89 today. But she's not alive. She died in June of 1998. And I wrote a letter to her. Must be December 1st of 2013. It was, of course, a little after Thanksgiving and a little before Christmas. And my first grandson, Cole, had been born. And I felt moved to write her, writing a letter to my dead mom. And so I did, and I posted it on my blog, A Napper's Companion. And in honor of her birthday, I lift a glass of red blend. Cheers, Mom. And I share this letter. It's helpful to know that my wife's name is Kathy. My son's name is Micah. My daughter's name is Elena. My son-in-law's name is Matt. And 15 months ago or so, Elena and Matt gave us Cole. Kathy and Micah and the animals are downstairs making noise, so who knows what kind of sound effects we'll have going along with this letter. But here it goes. This is a letter to my late mother from 2013. Put your minds in Christmas time. Dear Mom, I woke up from my Sunday afternoon nap half an hour ago, and now sit in the dining room a few feet away from your Christmas cactus. It's been jostled and broken a few times in the 15 years you've been gone, but Kathy always used the remnants as starters, which she gives away once they take hold. Guests marvel and ask how old the plant is. I wish you were here to tell me. I miss you, Mom. Driving around at night this time of year, I listen to the empty space you left behind. People are getting lights up on their houses, and I'd love to pick you up, go slowly through the neighborhoods, and check out the colors shining in the darkness, and hear you and ooh. I'd love to watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune with you after dinner, neither of us saying much. And I'd wish you'd have been with me during the last couple of days. Yesterday, November 30th, 2013, your fourth great-grandchild, Cole Martin Thompson, was born at 7:15 a.m. Elena did the hard part, and Matt and Kathy were there to help. I know, women give birth every day, but Cole's arrival is almost beyond belief for Kathy and me. So joyful that it seems surreal. Elena and Micah have been through a lot since you died. Elena remembers you walking with her to get ice cream before your arthritis got bad. They both remember the dollar toys and candy bars you had waiting for them when we came to visit. Hot Wheel cars, little rubber ladybugs, and Three Musketeers. Kathy and I will never forget you peeling grapes for Elena when she spent the night at your place. Their memory of you is dim around the edges, but they still talk about you with great love. You were gentle and understanding with them long before their troubles began. Their teenage years were tough. Elena got into wearing all black and scratching and slicing her wrists bloody. She and friends gave each other tattoos and piercings. Worst of all, in high school, she swallowed a handful of pills and wound up in the hospital. And Micah was hooked on heroin and smashed up his room in our basement during a few years of madness I still don't understand. He's a convicted felon, which will follow him for the rest of his life. He and a friend cooked down fentanyl patches and injected narcotic into her arm. She overdosed and nearly died. The one good thing about your death is you didn't have to walk the floor, as you used to say, worrying about your grandchildren. While much of this madness was going on, Kathy was in nursing school. I can't imagine how she was able to get mostly A's, graduate, and start working as an oncology nurse while our kids were in various stages of meltdown. But she did, which shows what a strong spirit she has. I was a mess. Being a pastor was still new to me. So as I tried to take care of parishioners, I barely functioned myself. I can't tell you how many times when Elena was missing in the middle of the night, or when Micah was roaring and screaming, I wanted to show up at your apartment and lie down with my head in your lap. That's some picture, huh? A 40-something man with his mommy rubbing his balding head. I had to settle for 2-hour naps of escape by myself. I swear, Mom, there were times I wasn't sure I'd survive. You gave birth to a man whose fragility didn't make for a particularly disciplined, wise parent. I could have done a better job. But this is why after 15 years I want to write you. There's a place in me that longs to tell you that after all Elena and Micah have been through, we, your son, his wife, and kids, and son-in-law, found ourselves together in a hospital room, looking at a greater blessing than I'd considered possible. It wasn't just the birth of my first grandchild that moved me. It was that Elena has grown into a mighty, wise, and lovely woman, with a husband who's in every way more than I have a right to expect. It was that Micah has been clean for over a year and has a full-time job as a painter. You know, he cried when he first saw his nephew and said that Saturday, November 30th, 2013, was the best day of his life. I let Micah hold Cole before I did. Would my son live to see adulthood? I wondered years ago, listening to furniture being demolished in the basement. Yesterday I watched your grandson hold your great-grandson. I breathed in and out, and thought, for the first time in my life, that if I suddenly died in that moment, all would be well. That I would have known as much joy as any man deserved. Life offers no guarantees, other than one day we'll all join you. You are ash underground. My ashes will be scattered somewhere. Cole, whose head is still bruised from pressing against Elena's pelvis, will eventually follow us. I don't know what eternity looks like. But my prayer is that somehow we can share the holiness of these days. You, your parents and grandparents, your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. And yes, Mom, I know that it's possible I've written this letter only for myself, a hopeful, neurotic, middle-aged man, and that you may be nothing more than the bone and cinder your children buried in June of 1998. But I can't help believing that existence is as abiding as your Christmas cactus and as fair as your great-grandson Cole. For as long as I have left, I'll hold on to this belief and pray to see you again. Lifetimes from now, may we all embrace, tell stories, and watch colors shine in the darkness. Love, John. Happy birthday, Mom.